All right. Well, Eggs, I know you're a fan of the Shakari Richardson ban on weed and on the Olympics, but I just
Yeah.
really don't agree with it.
No.
Welcome to the Bang Bus Football Podcast, where every inch matters. I'm Jim the Commish, and this is my co-host Eggs, the owner of the Kentucky Stormtroopers. How you doing tonight, Eggs?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are we doing, Commish?
Oh, doing all right. Doing all right. We
Good.
have a very, I would say, very special guest. I think everybody's been pretty excited about this. What do you say?
Oh, absolutely. Talk the league. Talk the league.
It's only the second episode here,
I
and
mean,
we might arguably have the biggest celebrity in the league right
face.
here in front of us. He was previously the supervisor of morale. He has now recently been promoted to the owner and operator of the Burritoville Fire Farts. This is Mr. Terry Flavor. Hell yeah. How you doing today, Terry Flavor?
Well, my agent said there won't be any stupid questions, but I guess we're going to start off with the dumb one. I'm doing all right, I guess. How are you boys?
We're all right. We're all right.
All right.
Better now. Liddy League sucks. Shots fired early here at our sister league. I like it.
Look, this big brother, little brother shit, I ain't going to fly. And until they extend a seat to Terry Flavor to where they welcome him to their league, the shit talking won't stop. So
Have
unless they want to give us a shot, we need some. I think we need some representation over there.
have they
By
ever reached out to you,
representation,
Mike?
I don't mean Andrew Lang.
Terry?
So
That was going to be my next point was Andrew Lang. You don't think Andrew's suitable, huh?
again, another dumb question.
We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving here. Eggs, I'm going to pass it to you. I'm going to let you fire off the first question here. Hopefully, it's a better question than what I've had for the first two. You go ahead. It's all yours.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt you there. So I guess the first question is: has the Little League even reached out to you there, Terry, for any kind of the spot on their show or anything like that?
I own the Liddy League. What are you
Oh,
talking about?
excuse me. I'll just skip to my next question. You're catching me off guard here. First off, just want to tell you congrats on your recent promotion to owner. Former supervisor of morale. That's a real come up. What can the Burritoville Fire Farts expect with you as their owner moving forward?
Well, that was pretty much the one and only reason I wanted to do this was to officially announce that I have accepted the owner role. You can see what you can expect to see out of me as owner is to defend the championship. Still waiting on that money to be sent my way.
Defend?
Did I stutter?
You didn't win it last year.
Or the year before?
You haven't won it yet.
The last time I checked, whenever you scored the most points, normally that means you're the winner, right? And in the week of the championship, nobody scored more points than I did. Nobody scored more points in a single game than I did in that game. So you two said it yourself, I think, last podcast that Nick wasn't a rightful champ. So
Oh no, that's
I think you kind of laid it up.
We did say he was rightful. We did say he was not rightful, but he was deserving. He got the job done. You weren't in that championship game. I know you might have put up the most points in third place, but you got to make it to the final game. You got to make it to the big boys game at the end, and you didn't do it. That's all I got to say about that, Terry Flavor.
We can agree to disagree.
Well, the championship tends to agree with me, so I'll go there. I'll stay there. On to the next question. Okay, since we're talking about championships, you're obviously defending one that you don't have. We looked, say, 5 years into the future where this league's going to be. How many championships are you going to have?
Five.
Five?
not one. Not
Folks,
two.
he said 5. He said he's going to go 5 for 5. Is this a guarantee that you're going 5 for 5 for the next 5 years?
I can guarantee you one thing. By this time next year, I will have a seat in the Liddy League. And because when you do an expansion, you can't just expand by one team, you have to do two. My counterpart will be the one who calls himself Bongo, the ultimate sleeper. I know he's already been on, the Two Polite Virgins podcast. So we already have an in there. I know Andrew over there will be pulling for us as well. So that's one thing I can guarantee is next year at this time, I think it'll be a little too soon. I don't know if we have enough time this season to, for them to hold a vote and for us to get in their league this upcoming season. But I think this time next year, we will have more representation in that league. I think the Burritoville Fire Farts are ready to expand and start another franchise. And
okay. We're just gonna keep moving on. Are we talking about the Liddy League, Eggs?
No, I didn't. I don't believe this is.
Is this the Liddy League?
Podcast.
Is this the two polite podcast?
No, something about virgins. I don't know.
You can spew all that stuff all you want about the Liddy League, about you moving over there. That seems like a spineless move to me. You might want to focus on winning a championship first in this league. But do as you please, and we'll move on to the next question. You finished third last year, third place. Your best finish yet in the playoffs. You've made the playoffs 3 out of 6 years now. Last podcast, I sold you short. I had said maybe once or twice. You have made it 3 out of the 6 years. I give you credit for that. What's your strategy when it comes to building a winning fantasy football team, and what changed for you going into last year, obviously with it being your best finish?
Well, I think the big difference you're going to see there is your answer to one of the questions you asked before is what is going to be the difference? What are you going to see now that I'm owner? And that is that, the playoff appearances, you're going to see that improve drastically. And, what do I think, what's it take to build a championship contending franchise?
Absolutely.
That is, you have to be the face of the league, talk of the league, and that's something we already are. So we're well on our way.
I like that. I like that answer. Eggs.
So, Terry, curious about these recent power rankings that you released via Twitter. Had yourself finishing first, and your bitch, Terry's Flavor of the Week, finishing second.
That's right.
Will you have any problems crushing your apprentice on the way to your first championship win?
No, I won't, but we will meet in the championship.
That's your call right now. You two in the championship game.
You got a question for me, John?
Yeah, we're gonna move on. I did think the power rankings were interesting. Especially being with the expansion team, it's just a bold move. We're about a month and a half out here. We don't have keepers locked, but he's just throwing out power rankings. I like it. It's way too early, but I like it. I like where your head's at. Fantasy football, it's all that matters. Every inch matters. On to the next question. On November 25th, 2020, Adam Schefter broke news that you had been arrested in an altercation with a hot kettle. All info following that news was swept under the rug and kept quiet. Now, I want to give you the opportunity, Terry Flavor, to explain your side of the story and clear maybe any wrongdoing that's been on your name.
Look, we like to look forward. We don't really like to dwell on that stuff. And what happened, and it may or may not have.
It's your fans. It's your fans that want to know. They deserve to know. I mean, they're everywhere. You know that. You're the face of the league. You understand the type of movement that you have in your words and your actions. I think that they deserve an explanation with that. What happened? What the hot kettle?
As owner of the Burritoville Fire Farts, I'm taking the stance to move forward, to not dwell on the past, and not answer any stupid questions.
Okay, your opinion's stupid, but like I said, I think your fans deserve to know. On to you, Eggs. I think I do like where this interview's going, so on to you.
A lot tougher than I thought it was going to be honest with you. Terry, let's go back to the just inauguration of the Bang Bus League 2015. First round pick, you have the number 1 overall pick. I picked 2. You took Adrian Peterson. Knowing what you know now, do you regret that pick? Would you make the pick over again? Would you change it? What are your thoughts on your first overall pick in the league? Hindsight.
I would absolutely make the same pick, and I believe you were speaking previously on the last episode how you were trying to say that Le'Veon was the better pick. Is that correct? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
I think I know why. Is sounds like you're not a fan of discipline. Maybe your parents didn't spank you when you were a kid, and maybe that's why you're not a big fan of Adrian. But I'm definitely
get with the stick. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I'm absolutely. I'd make the same decision over again, and Adrian will go down in the Hall of Fame of the Burritoville Fire Farts.
Would you say that he's your favorite player of all time growing up? That Adrian all day Peterson is your guy?
No, it's LT.
Oh, really? That's mine as well. That's good. I'm glad we got there. Yeah. LT, amazing. Back in the day.
Why? Can I ask why?
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
Go like that.
That's all I needed to know. Interesting. Very interesting. In the past, you've made it very clear at expressing how you feel about your opponents on Twitter any given week. Okay, you know that. You can agree with that, right? You'll pop off a tweet, and you'll mean it with all your heart, and you'll put it out there. Who do you see, okay, going into this year as your biggest threat, and a team that isn't even on your radar? That is just so bad, you won't even look twice at them.
So I'd say obviously as a threat would be, the higher ups, which would be
Can you name them?
Harry's flavor of the week,
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate sleeper. I think, these 3 teams, including myself, these 3 franchises have pretty much been the backbone of the league. And every single year it seems like we end up being on the top, and I don't see that slowing down at any time. That's going to continue. Somebody, I will say, if there's anything I can agree with you 2 on, is both of your picks last week for basically your shit picks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can remind me which one of you said the self-proclaimed defending champ. Was that you, Eggs?
Yeah, I went Fuzz. Yeah, definitely shit pick Fuzz.
I like that pick. I think he's going to fall off quite a bit this year. And then who was yours?
I went Timbo.
Yeah,
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
He's very vanilla. He's never been a threat.
Too nice.
Never been anybody that when you play him each week, may as well be a buy. Starters on the bench, keep them fresh. So I do agree with both of those picks. Obviously, when you look at the rankings, 14th, we don't even need to talk about that person. Trash. That person should honestly be removed from the league, should be traded to another league, maybe the Liddy League, our little sister.
Is that the G word? I'm guessing that was your 14th.
Sure.
The G guy. Yeah, okay.
13, 12, the newcomers, just going off of what we know. One of them is a, known quitter. They've quit on us before. Who knows? Maybe they'll bounce back. The other one we really don't know much about. And then there's, the mid-pack kind of after that. Some familiar names, Andrew Lang, we talked about him earlier. We don't need to give, him any more rub. Other than that, he's terrible, and he'll always be on the bottom half of the league. But yeah, I also do agree with you. If there's one franchise, one owner that I can give some respect to, it would be Logan Jett. I do think he's on the rise a little bit. I think somebody like CJ is a has-been. I think somebody like his best years have already passed. don't see him doing too much this year or years to come. It's really, Terry Gang and FLAVORTOWN that we have to look forward to, and that's going to be the face of the league for years to come. And if you did see the rankings, I did have you two up there, over halfway.
Playoff teams. I do believe both
playoff
playoff
teams,
teams. Yeah.
Taking in.
Obviously, eggs, I think, you have the stroke of luck. You get very, very lucky. So that was the reason for your ranking. And then commish, obviously, you can tailor the rules and everything to your benefit. So I think you two rank pretty high for that.
Definitely.
Those reasons.
Definitely. That's yeah. So what you're saying is the bus, we're heading straight to FLAVORTOWN.
What I'm saying is, regardless of how you try to rig your league, yeah, we're gonna keep on cruising, and it's going straight to FLAVORTOWN, and it's not stopping there.
Rig the league. I see. Okay. Eggs, I think you got some more for this guy, for Terry here. Do you?
Let's see what I got here for Terry.
You want some bold flavor predictions? I could give you a couple.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to ask about Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, but nobody wants to listen to that. Go ahead. What are your bold predictions?
I will say, I think the most valuable fantasy player for this upcoming season will also be the comeback player of the year. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be the MVP this year. I also think that somebody like Sam Darnold is
Seeing ghosts.
going to be a borderline top 6, top 7 fantasy quarterback this year.
Sam Darnold.
I think Sam Darnold's in for a big year. And I think Herbert, somebody like Herbert, is going to be a top 2, maybe top 3 fantasy quarterback this year.
Wow.
I
Big second year, huh?
I think from the quarterbacks, obviously you got Kyler, you got, Mahomes up there, but I think you're going to start to see more movement this year. You're going to start to see some guys climb a little bit. And obviously quarterbacks, not really where you win your games, but I think it's getting to the point to where obviously running backs, obviously receivers, that's what, unless you're a complete idiot like the G word and just absolutely don't understand anything about fantasy football. Obviously that's who you're going to target in the draft, or those players. But I do think eventually, with the way quarterbacks are being used, that you're seeing them get picked a little higher and higher every year. You're seeing people like Eggemeyer use a keeper on somebody like Lamar Jackson. So I think that's going to
Cam Newton, those kind of players. Even to your point, Matt Ryan. Julio's gone now. He could probably regress quite a bit. Big Ben, this probably going to be his last year. So yeah, I really like the idea of these younger guys showing themselves, inserting themselves into the top 10, of the QB fantasy realm. It's going to be exciting. I had Kyler last year, huge fan of his. Herbert is obviously, for a rookie, I mean, he was slanging that thing. That dude has a cannon on his right arm, and he can put it anywhere he wants to. So, and he's got a lot of weapons. They added to the line, did a lot of work there. So I agree with you. Speaking of bold takes here, who's a rookie that should be on everybody's radar?
I think there's some pretty obvious ones. Obviously, you have Pitts, you have Chase, you have guys like that.
Yeah.
I think they're the 2 backs out of Penn State, right? Or North Carolina, my bad.
Javonte Williams. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
go
ahead.
I think both of those backs can have some success this year. I think, I think those are 2 guys that maybe are going under the radar a little bit that can have some impact.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah, outside of that, I don't want to give you guys too much fuel for your draft.
Of course. No, I agree with the Pitts pick for sure. And then Najee Harris, that Pittsburgh kid, we better watch out for him, especially if they feed him the ball like they did Le'Veon.
When's your prediction? How early is he going?
If I had I could see him going in the first, in my eyes. I mean, he could go top 6 just because running backs will do that. And as a rookie, I mean, I don't. Who else is even there? That James Conner's gone. He went to Arizona. I don't even. I'm sure they signed somebody. Oh, Benny Snell. That's who it is.
Yeah.
But no, I see Najee. He's a star. He's good. He's
He's
really
gonna get all
good.
the goal line touches too.
What are both of your thoughts on the 2 votes that just took place? 2 or 3 votes? I think we may have had 3 votes last week.
Yeah, eggs. What's your thoughts on it?
I like them all. I think I voted yes on all of them.
Well, the one had options, right?
Yeah, let me.
Yeah, so the first one was the point change for the tackles, which that should have been.
Yeah,
once that was brought to our attention, that was easy. That was a no-brainer, like you said. The next one was the voted for the payout structure.
Yep, like that as well.
Whether he was at the top 4 getting paid or the top 2. I think I actually voted for top 2. I like to see the first place get more money, but I have no problem with the top 4 getting paid out. I think it's. I mean, I got 4th last year, so it was in my benefit. So I like it.
Do you know the common theme between both of those picks that won? Both of those choices.
You were a part of them, or what?
Yeah, FLAVORTOWN was a huge part in that. Holden proposed, both of those.
Where would we be with that 2 dicks?
Wow. Unreal. Well, I mean, the one that won in payout structure was just the same one as last year. So wasn't really his proposal.
It came in play when he mentioned it, though.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a key part of this league. So, and
another example of FLAVORTOWN run this league. We have our hand in more than you know, Commish.
Really? Okay. I mean, you haven't won a championship. They definitely do. I mean, they've definitely stamped their code of approval on that trophy, but we'll see if you can get it done this year. Like you said, you guaranteed 5 out of 5 next year. Plus, you're gonna run off into the Liddy League, but you then have a shirt that says Liddy League sucks. So, a little confusing, but I get it.
He was your pick, right? Next season, Holden.
Yeah, Holden. Yep, it was. That's thinking with my brain there. Yeah.
You want me to just keep interviewing you guys? Is that
go ahead? I like it. I don't mind it.
All right. What's the latest on the rivalries? I know that was something that was brought up.
That was actually going to be my next question. Regarding rivalries, I don't think I have a number 1 rival. To be honest, I think there are everybody. I think it's fucking 1 against 13, Jim against the world. So I don't know. Eggs might feel differently. I don't know, but
yeah,
he might have some rivals.
I'm an original big 3 guy. Me, Jim, and Bubba. I don't know where Bongo's alliances lie here lately.
Oh, we know it's FLAVORTOWN.
But yeah, that's surprising. I mean, we did go over the records last week on the initial pod. Terry, you are yet to be 500, by the way.
You got 1 win more than me, don't you?
That's 1 win more. That's all that matters there, buddy.
Not too much.
1 more.
Oh man,
I got more playoff wins too. But.
So are you rivals
Beautiful.
with Bongo?
Bongo is a self-proclaimed rival of myself. I guess me and him actually talked recently about maybe dying down the rivalry, but I think I might be ready to fire it back up now with all this FLAVORTOWN nonsense. I'm not about all this up and coming yuppie shit. So we'll let the original big 3 get back together and get back to dominate the league like we originally did.
I got a question for you. Instead of fuck, marry, kill, let's do a start, sit, and cut. Okay. I'll give you Alvin Kamara. We're gonna go all pretty good names right here. Okay, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry.
Well, you know what I just said about Saquon. But having said that, got to go with my boy, the keeper, Alvin. He's starting.
Yep.
We're gonna sit Saquon, and we're gonna cut your boy.
Cut Derrick. Cut 2K Derrick. Okay. If you Terry Flavor, if you had to co-host a fantasy football team with a celebrity, any celebrity, who would it be and why?
First, initial thought would probably be myself. because two Terry flavors are better than one Terry flavor. So I think I'd go with that.
Beautiful. All right. Well, that's all I got. You got any more form eggs?
No, that's it. This
I
has
think
been
that's
one of a kind.
I think that's a great one to end on. Here on the Bang Bus Football Podcast, we like to end our podcast with our guests, where we both, do our little tagline here. So as I go, thank you for listening to the Bang Bus Football Podcast, where every inch matters. We're gonna do that together. Okay, let's try that again.
Come on, Terry.
I really appreciate you coming on here, Terry. This is the last sign off. Thank you guys for listening to the Bang Bus Football Podcast, where every inch matters. Thanks, Terry. Have a good one, buddy.
Tough crowd with old Terry. I thought maybe getting him on the pod early would, keep him loose, and maybe he would.
He was real tight, wasn't he?
He was tight. He didn't want to divulge any of his
He came in here looking for war, armed for battle, and we were really just trying to. I mean, we were going to open up the can a little bit, but we weren't going to, throw the sword at him.
No, I didn't plan on it. I felt like he came in with the sword pointed at us.
Which, can't blame the guy. I mean, he's coming into the unknown. The first guest on the Bang Bus Football Podcast. You never know what's going to happen.
We should have fucking roasted his ass on here. Is what
we should have. We should have just
brought the sword.
Just a bullet point.
Really want to hammer home
the axe.
Sub 500 fucking record.
I mean, yeah.
Defending champion, 5-time next champion.
Defending champion.
Should be a game above 500 first.
We'll see though. I mean, he put up mad points last year, and I don't love his idea of playing for third place and putting up the most points. Says he's the winner, but teach his own. However he wants to look at it, but it's not what everybody else says. I hate to break to him. Well, any fantasy football thoughts? You been studying anymore? Or?
Yeah, I did a couple podcasts today actually. We're surprised how high Ryan Tannehill is on a lot of people's boards. A lot of people think he's going to have a pretty good year.
Just to that point, let's talk about that. Let's go on that. I like that. Okay, so the idea, first of all, you got 2K Henry in the backfield.
Yeah.
That scheme is built off of play action. Okay, they love to feed Derrick Henry, give him 15-20, and then dump off to A.J. Brown. Corey Davis is gone, and they replaced him with Julio Jones.
Major upgrade.
I can't see any more of an upgrade than that. And then they really like that the tight end. Berkshire?
Yeah, I know that. I can't. Yeah, whatever his name is, he's predicted to have a bazillion touchdowns.
I think the Titans can run away with that division, to be completely honest. Texans are going to be garbage. Colts will fight for it. But Carson Wentz's first year, you don't know. I don't know about that.
Sure on the Colts, man. I'm not as sold on Jonathan Taylor as everyone else is. They brought back Marlon Mack. I mean, he took forever to get going last year. I don't know if they're 100% sold on him. All the carries in college, I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on him.
I'm going to be honest. I hate that argument, man. The too many carries in college just because he has more experience. That's what we're going to bang him on. The kid can run, dude. I mean, I just want to get an idea of what he did last year. We're going to do this real quick.
I think if anything with the Colts, it's that defense. I mean, they're just disgusting. They had Darius Leonard flying around back there. They stopped the run.
I agree. The Colts, though, here, Jonathan Taylor, 232 carries, 1,100 yards.
He finished sixth, I think.
Averaged 5 yards per carry, double-digit touchdowns, 11. Caught 36 balls. I mean,
go
with a good O-line.
Slow start. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he put up 101 yards the second game in a tutty. I don't know. I think, regardless, I don't think the Colts are going to be as good, to our original point, as good as to the Titans. I think the Titans are going to be good this year and make a deep playoff run. Now, in that same idea, I think the Titans are kind of on the same level as the Browns. You know what I mean? Where they're a little bit more, they're a little uncertain, but they both have really good rosters.
See, I think you know what you get with the roster. It's not going to change too much over from last year necessarily. I think adding Julio, I think Baker's starting to take those next steps. As much as I can't stand him, he looks good. Everybody's getting into their roles. I think the thing with Chubb in Cleveland, with having Kareem back there, it's just you got two-headed monster, man. You got
It's
Odell.
big.
You got there's so many weapons there for
They
him.
kind of have a line now, a little
yeah,
bit.
no, and the defense. I mean, the Clowney and Garrett.
They added Clowney. They added John Johnson, the
Yeah.
safety.
Yep.
Denzel Ward, and then man, I could have swore they added another corner. They draft somebody.
They draft, the young guy. I feel like another first round pick.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. They're gonna put up a fight in the AFC, that's for sure.
What let me ask you about the Bengals. What do you think about the Bengals?
We're talking about the Bengals again, huh? I don't know
Yeah,
if the
yeah,
Bengals have
no,
ever been mentioned twice in a podcast back to
No,
back.
but I'm intrigued by Joe Burrow. I'm intrigued by Joe Mixon. I'm intrigued by Jamar Chase. I know the defense isn't anything, but I think if any of the quarterbacks, I don't know. I'm looking for Joe to light it up.
My mind immediately goes to the division as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Steelers, the Ravens, and who am I missing?
Steelers, Ravens, Browns. We just talked about
Browns. We just talked about them. I think that division is way too competitive. Competitive to really see them succeed as young as they are. It could be a really good division though. Once Big Ben leaves the Steelers, it's a question mark. You don't really know what's going to happen. I see the Browns winning that division this year. Ravens are still there. They're going to do what they do, and it's going to be hard to stop them. Bengals, though, fantasy-wise, when we're just talking about fantasy, they definitely have some valuable pieces, I think. I think Jamar Chase could put up 1,000 yards easy. Joe Burrow has that continuity with him.
In college, yeah.
And he's going to get the targets. Give him to me. I'll draft him in the 4th, 5th round.
Zach Taylor's going to want to use him.
Absolutely.
Right in, get his young gun in. He's a young coach.
He's a first-round pick. They're gonna feed him.
You don't lose a lot of that stuff. And it's a lot quicker in the NFL, but they know where each other are going to be.
Yep, and they're trying to replace AJ Green. You know what I mean? Fan favorite over there. So T. Higgins, that guy, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow. I don't remember their tight end, but I don't know. They're building something. I just think their division too tough right now for them to really succeed. People make them a serious threat. He was talking about the Panthers.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. Sam Darnold is a top 6 guy. I mean, I hope so. I have a hefty wager with Holden actually regarding Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. And I'm getting smoked on that bet. Not necessarily my fault. Baker was going to go to the Browns, and just OBJ and all this other talent was going to go there. But I got Sam Darnold and the Jets, and I don't know, a top 10 QB for Sam Darnold. I don't know if that's ever been.
It's a bit of a reach for me personally.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Robbie Anderson's still there.
Yeah, great year last year. Picked him off the waiver wire early.
People are really big on DJ Moore every year. He's kind of the guy that I see being top 20, but in a crazy touchdown year could be top 10, but never truly. I don't know. Maybe Sam Darnold can come out there and really sling the ball, but
Seeing ghosts.
With CMC in the background, or the backfield, like maybe people would be scared. Maybe we're underestimating Sam Darnold a little bit, and Terry Flavor's on it.
I hope so. I hope he wins a playoff game or two. Playoff wins count for anything over regular season accomplishments. So that's about the only thing that'll save me.
Yeah.
What else did I learn today? Travis Kelce. Lots of love for Travis Kelce. Finished top 2 in every year since 2015. Like 70% greater than the average tight end Travis Kelce is. So that's how much of just a matchup boost you get by having him on your team. He was actually recently just traded in our league, so that's kind of what brought him up.
Yes, he was.
And sounds like a good keeper selection to me. A lot of people have him rated higher than some of the wide receivers I've seen. Guys like Devontae and those guys are up there, but Devontae's a question mark without Aaron, and I don't know. Travis seems pretty safe to me. I think I almost take him over Tyreek.
When you're putting up 312 points in a year, and you have Pat Mahomes throwing you the ball, you could easily be a keeper on my team. You know what I mean? He's a beast, catching 105 balls at tight end. You know what I mean? I don't know about over Tyreek because Tyreek is kind of, what did I say, 312 for old Kelce right there last year.
140 targets or something.
Tyreek had 333, so I mean pretty close.
Yeah.
And Kelce had 103 catches. Tyreek only had 87 catches and had that many more points. That's pretty insane.
Well, we had that one half, 270 yards.
Just dumb. That was against the Bucks, I think.
Yeah, it was a quarter actually, not half.
Yeah.
I just got a text from Terry's agent. Job well done. That's the most he's ever seen him talk in an interview. So I guess we feel a little bit relieved here.
So we got him out of his shell a little bit.
Got him out of his shell a little
more
bit.
than we thought.
We'll have him on a little bit later in the season. We'll see if he can get that record above 500. Maybe if he is, maybe he'll be more willing to talk.
Yeah. Interesting. I thought his interview was fun. A lot of talk about the Liddy League.
Too much for me.
Too much for my personal opinion. I didn't think he'd come on here and hype them up. He guaranteed, said he was defending champion and then guaranteed the next 5 would be his, but then also said he was expanding to the league that sucks on his shirt. So Terry's his own type of dude. We understand that. We get it. Interesting interview though. Over here on the Bang Bus Football Podcast, that's for sure. So it's always fun though.
I think we want to end it on one thing and one thing only: the recent developments between the NFL and the city of St. Louis today, and all of that nonsense. I encourage everybody to go take a look at that. It's good stuff. But,
fill me in on it. I don't know all the details. What's happening right now?
I'd have to go through a big Twitter spool to pull it all up, but basically it's just a lot of Roger Goodell sneakily working with Kroenke and trying to keep everything hush hush. There's a recorded phone call in 2013, which is a little bit before the move, where Kroenke says, "Hey, I bought 2 pieces of land. We're going to put the stadium out there. I'd appreciate it if we kept this under the radar." Roger Goodell responds to that: "We will respect your condolences and want to keep everything quiet and hush hush," which is just. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's got the papers in his hand with all the agreements on what he needs to relocate. He's like recorded asking his lawyer if he has to actually follow these agreements. And his legal counsel says, well, yeah, it says clearly right there on the top of the paper, you have to follow it. You signed it. And he just went about it, everything just the wrong way. Sneakily, dirty snake.
What a rat.
That's all I have to say about that.
To blame the fans on the way out too is just real dog move.
The fucking chief operations or Demoff is fucking sending things to the NFL regarding City of St. Louis's crime rate and their market cap and all kinds of good stuff.
Wow.
Just really sabotaging it all, man.
They doing that for the Bears?
Right. I get one to take the team to LA to make more money, but you don't have to do it like that.
No, not at all. Wow, that's interesting. But it was fun. We enjoyed having Terry Flavor, supervisor of morale, new owner of the Burritoville Fire Farts. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Bang Bus Football Podcast, where every inch matters.
That was almost it.
That was good. We're good. Peace.
Sure.
Eric